Hey kids, Mark Miller here. A little late this morning. How you doing, Rory?
I'm not doing too bad, my friend. I've had a good day.
Good.
I've achieved things.
That,
It's kind of rarity sometimes, it feels like, but no, today was good.
that's awesome. I'm glad to hear that. I just had like a crazy morning. As you may know, I'm getting married again this week, and
Congratulations.
thank you. Yeah, it's not bad. Although I'm like kind of, I guess I think I view it more as not so much congratulations because I went from nothing to this, but as I'm protecting my turf kind of thing. You know, it's congratulations. I fended off all the other suitors for these days. In fact, I think I've got
Position atop the castle.
yeah. So far, still I have not proposed yet.
Okay.
That I need to do that. The wedding is scheduled for Friday, and it really should happen by like Thursday, I think, at the latest, right? Because you really want to secure that position. But I like to make decisions at the last minute because I don't feel like I have more power going along those lines. So that's what I'm doing. Let's switch over here to the main view here. Let's take a look at our code, what we're going to do today. Hold on, I wanted to get rid of that. Okay, I didn't tell you. So, Sex Positive says, I'm waiting.
Oh, well, uh-huh.
Hold on, let me, do I need to refresh something? I didn't hit start over here. That's probably the piece that's missing. I failed to do that. Sex Positive is like, I'm waiting. Sorry, Sex Positive. You're waiting for your fanfare, I take it? Or are you waiting for...
Maybe expecting on-air live proposal.
on a live proposal. Now, I've actually been thinking about that. Do I do it live? But it's just a whole bunch. It's going to be a whole bunch of, Sex Positive crying, sobbing her eyes out. You don't want that. Nobody wants to see that. Right, Sex Positive? Yeah, waiting for a proposal. Yeah, well, good things come to those who wait. Look, I'm a catch. Right, Rory? And your peacock.
Yeah, absolutely.
I am
I'm in the best position to judge that.
Rory, if anybody can explain that I'm a catch, it's you, right? You're the guy that puts a positive spin on anything. You got to be able to...
Suggesting it needs a positive spin? Surely not.
Yeah, that's what I'm suggesting. Let me go in here. I want to... okay, it looks like the drone overlay is loading. That's good. Looks like I had some other things loading. I am interested to know, though, if we are... I want to know if we are getting... if our code is running here, not necessarily on chat command received. I want to do it on message received, anything. And one can also catch a cold. Yes, that's true. Also, one can also catch the very amazing, awesome, and esteemed Mark Miller. Look at that right there. We got a breakpoint. Okay, so that's good. Run it. So what's going on? Let's go into handle user fanfare. Why isn't Karen's fanfare being played? Can you, Sex Positive, can you send us one more snarky message in the chat room, please? I want to see what comes out of here. What is our bug? Is our bug in case? I wonder if it's case, because Sex Positive here does not have an uppercase P in the name, and I'm wondering if that's my problem.
I recall you saying something that parts of these were.
Okay, here we go.
So, yeah.
So let's see here. Display name. What is the chat message display name? It's Sex Positive, lowercase. That's my problem. It's in this line of code right here. So do I have a CodeRushed thing that can help me out here? Use string.compare. I want to change it to use string.compare because then, don't I get like an option in here that says case insensitive? Or is it here?
I'm sure there's something in there that I've certainly seen people.
Invariant culture ignore case. So I'm going to do that. So
CodeRushed saves your marriage.
Let's see if it does it or not. So now we found it. Now we found it. Weren't finding it before. That was my theory, at least. Let's run it. Keep running it. See what happens. Do we get the fanfare? Well, Mr. AnnouncerBot said yes, but
Mr. AnnouncerBot is clearly biased.
we did not.
In the most sensible fashion. fashion, obviously.
Yes, exactly what we need right now. Six Positive says always. But we did not play it. I should have continued stepping all the way through is what I should have done. Let's go back. Let's do a fanfare reset command here. I think it's fanfare reset, like that is what I think it is. Let's double check that. Yeah, I think we just cleared them out here. And Sex Positive, give us another. Wait, do I have a breakpoint? Wait, let me get to my breakpoint here first. So anyway, I'm like, I get a message from my son this morning, and he's on the West Coast, and his passport's on the East Coast, and his flight leaves tomorrow morning to get here for the wedding.
That's a neat trick.
Yeah, and so I've been like, instead of prepping for the show, I've been solving that problem right there. And by the way, yeah, there's no courier company that can really do it last minute like this.
So you need a passport to travel within the United States?
Nope, you do not. You do not need one, but you need one to escape. So he traveled from East Coast to West Coast with a driver's license, and realized only like this morning that he needed a passport to leave the country. And so I was like, yeah, okay, I should have said that, made that explicit. Six Positive, you got another message for us out there? I'd like to see why yours aren't playing, so I can debug that if you're still out there with us. And it looks like maybe I'll just have to look at the code. We got first to play fanfare. Let's go do that. We'll look at the code and take a look at what's going on here. Fanfare display name. I'm wondering if it's another case-sensitive issue right here. That would get us out. The fanfare display name is not the same. Yeah, I think we lose the chat. Do we do anything else with the chat message? No. Yeah, that feels like it should work. I think I've got a bug somewhere in this piece right here. Oh, here we go. What do we got? Sex. Okay, there we go. Sex Positive is very helpful with an oy vey.
Thank you very much.
Oy vey. There we go. So fanfare is true. Let's go into play fanfare. Now we're coming in here. We got something. We got, played fanfares. It says it's already happened and it plays it, but I'm going to bypass that.
The reset may be not what you thought it was.
Yeah, maybe that's the problem. So here we're going to come down here instead. Come in there, come in there, come in there, come in there. Let's see, the index string is 1. The display name is Sex Positive. Activate scene byte, so we're looking for Sex Positive 1. And let's see what happens. Really? It's not activating the scene? I got a scene with that name.
You accidentally moved the media files that are involved in this, so they're simply not being found.
No, I think it's more of a, it wants me to start this. I'm going to go ahead and run this and clear that breakpoint. It's all looking correct to me, but I think that the connection, the OBS connection to run it is failing. In other words, the thing that the scene activation piece is what I think is failing. That's my sense on this because everything else is looking good. In other words, I think a restart of this is going to solve the problem, but I don't think I'm going to restart it. But I think that's my sense on it. I'm just trying to think, what can I refresh? There's nothing I can refresh in OBS other than restarting OBS to do that, to create that. That would also mean then that if we come in here and say mark, that nothing's going to happen there. Mark! But it did. So wait, hold on a second. I think I've got a fanfare command. If I'm remembering this correctly, do I have one? Let me double check this. Test fanfare. I wonder if it's not stopping because there's a second place where it's checking get time. Since you see here we're doing this contains key on it. We're kind of doing some checks here since scene activation as well. And so activate scene. We get out there and we do come up with, I already said that. So we've got that piece. Maybe that's not it. Could be that's Alpha says, good morning all. Good morning.
Hello, CodeRushed Alpha. Welcome.
So Mr. AnnouncerBot is definitely doing that. The fanfares are not playing. They seem to be, the activate scene seems to be there. Let's set a breakpoint here on activate scene, see what's going on here. And also let's look in, I think I've got a fanfare command in here. There's a reset, here it is right here, command text fanfare. So then the other one. So yeah, so I think if I do that, that will trigger.
You did a fanfare reset. Should it not have been reset fanfare? Looking at that. Arguments as fanfare rather than the command.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Or does it work both ways, perhaps?
No, it does not. I'm sure it does not. Reset fanfare. Okay. And then fanfare 6 positive. Oh, something. Oh, that was somebody else's. That's okay. Let's just see where we are. Who's the person who just chatted in there? It looks like it's just CodeRushed is what it is. So we're just stopped for that. Okay, I'm going to run it. I think my breakpoints are not in great places here. That's what I think. Surely Dev sent me a pull request, by the way.
Yeah?
Yeah, he's got some more. I think I saw the description of it. I haven't looked at it yet, but we got to take a look. We got to take a look at it. All right, let's.
Careful, though. You may have some anti-swatting technology in there.
Yeah, I know. We're going to take a look at that closely there. Rory is very quiet. Volume on Rory is quiet.
Just because I'm quiet, or here we are at sort of semi-normal volume speech-wise.
No, I got it. Now I just raised the volume on you, but now let's see what happens. Though I think we're going to have a problem here. Thanks for that, by the way.
CodeRushed Alpha says better.
Yeah, so. Better, but hold on. I'm gonna actually go ahead and play, since X Positive is in the house. I'm gonna play one of her fanfares, and we'll see how loud it gets. If it gets really loud, I'll crank that volume down fast. That seems okay. Wow. All right. Sex Positive. Sex Positive is in the house. If the proposal goes well, I'll be getting married by the end of the week. Again, restaking my claims. I just have to fight off, like, Aquaman and Chris Hemsworth and, Dwayne The Rock Johnson. But I think in a cage battle, me against all three of those guys,
yeah,
somebody would emerge the winner. I'd sit in the corner. I go, you guys battle each other out. I only want to fight the best of you.
Yeah, let them wear each other out.
That's what I'm going to do. No contest. Exactly, said CodeBase Alpha. I'll use my super brain to solve that problem. All right, what's going on? Well, we play fanfare. Sex Positive, if you're still out there, I'd love to get a text message from you if you're there. In fact, I'm just going to send one now. Hello. Get to my break point. Not even getting in my played fanfare. Breakpoint. Well, let's do this. Let's do this instead. Let's just do this fanfare.
Well, the word hello is not going to get you to a fanfare, is it?
Positive, but I think it gets to that. But let's try this. I'm going to send this command out and see what we get. I'm not there either. No breakpoint with that. Let's set a breakpoint here. The display name is CodeRushed. That's me. Let's try one more time. Set a breakpoint there. I'm feeling a restart, Rory.
Yeah.
Nothing's coming in. Nothing.
Nada.
Nothing. Let's try a restart of this. Let's try on our. Yeah, I'm gonna kill this. And kill that, and just killing a lot of things here is, what are we doing? There goes Mr. AnnouncerBot. Coming back down to here. What is still running out here? What do you think is still running? There we go. Okay, it's restored. Let's try again. And while I'm at it, why don't I just refresh the caches that are in the that are out here?
Yeah. Mr. Announcebot is back.
So refresh the drone game, the Dragon Front overlay, the scroll overlay. And was there one more? No, I guess no more on this page. So this was the one right here. All right, so Mr. Announcebot says he's there. Chat command received is here. Let's try again. Fanfare sex positive. Do I got a breakpoint?
That looked like a breakpoint.
I got one. Okay, good. All right, so there. Okay, this one it will work because I've got them. This one's case sensitive, and I'm not going to change this because we're in the middle of stepping through this. Let's go into play fanfare. So we got a breakpoint there, so let's just hit run. So we're in there. No chat messages come in there, but there's sex positive. So let's see what's happening now. So hasn't been played yet. Not suppressing. Chat message. Oh, we're gonna have a problem here. So, so chat message is not null. I think we had an exception thrown here, and I think that kind of messed us up.
Blocking anything processing past
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Let's see if we got any other references to this.
That would have broken quite a few things, in fairness.
That might be what was going on when I was calling that. So greeting sex positive, but still nothing played. No switch. Yeah, I think the problem is the connection to OBS is not there. That's kind of what I feel is happening. Because that's how we change the scenes. No, wait, we tried this though. Hold on a second. That's what I thought before, but then when I typed in Mark, it changed it. Activate scene. So here we got getting activate scene called. So we're not getting activate scene called. So let's go find out. So we got a bug somewhere. Let's go back again and say fanfare sex positive. Actually, before I do that, let's do a reset on the fanfare. And now let's do fanfare sex positive. Okay, play fanfare. Let's again. Where are we? Where are we going wrong? Okay, good. Still playing now. Restrictor scene is active. No. Okay, so we're good. Fanfare count is greater. Okay, here's where we get our index string. Index string is 2. Okay, so I'm just visually confirming that we've got sex positive 2 there. The fanfare display name is sex positive with an uppercase P. Activate scene by name. That sure looks like sex positive 2. That's what I'm seeing there in my list in OBS. So now let's go drill inside that. Oops, I hit F11 on OBS side there. Activate scene by name. Okay, what do we got here? Last scene playtime is that. Last category playtime, so we have those. Activating scene. Is my problem that I'm only calling that? Activating scene by name. So that actually doesn't activate it. Now we're suppressing, calling suppress volume. So that part is working. Ooh, we got an exception.
Does not exist. Did the
there it
itself
is.
Get a different name?
No, this is the problem right there.
Display name.
Yeah.
Right, without the extra calculation.
That's what it is. Okay. All right. So what we need to do is we need to do something like this. We need to say VS. This is going to be our scene name. That's going to be equal to our display name normally, like that. But then we're going to come down and we're going to say, hey, we're going to augment that with the index string right here. We're going to say this CNAME is equal to itself plus the index string. Is that going to work? Yeah, that should work. It should get that, convert that automatically. And then we're going to do this. And then we're going to do this right there.
That seems pretty good.
And then this there. All right. That feels way much better. In fact, I bet those error messages that just were made. Oh, come on. Oh, because we're in an exception.
You can probably go straight past it, doing the right line, and then drag yourself back up. So finish the right line, finish the catch, and then replace yourself.
There you go, right there. And then we got
for that matter, we can change our run location. We can just jump back up.
Yeah, I agree. So we're going to come up here, set next statement. And here we go. Uh-oh.
Ooh.
Value cannot be null. Parameter key. Okay, let's
null
just
coming
jump.
in?
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened. I think I think what I passed in null for the name. Yeah, apparently. Scene name. Okay, yeah, we need to come back up here. Also, let's take index dir and just put it only right here, like that. Okay, so we want to come up here. Step, 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 step. Scene name is now sex positive 1. There it is, activating by scene. There it is right there. There we go, kids. All right. All right, we did it.
Sex positive in the house.
All right, kids, we did
There
it.
we go.
We did it. We did it. We did it.
Success.
I want to do one for Codebase Alpha. Codebase Alpha, UK, if I do I'm thinking like a spaceship themed kind of entrance for you. I think you're probably okay with that. Also, I've had some thoughts for Legendary Moo as well, about an alternate for Legendary Moo, just because that's such a great name. It lends itself to such fun stuff. So where the aliens are actually getting the better.
Nice.
Yeah, Codebase Alpha says something with rockets in space. Excellent. Cool. Totally happy to do that. Yeah, this week is super busy for me with the wedding and all, getting ready for that. I had, just between you and me, I think Codebase, or I think Sex Positive's no longer here. Sex Positive, you in the house? You have to tell me if you're a cop. You have to tell me if you're in the house. Sounds like she's not listening now, so I can
You're
reveal.
about to incriminate yourself, are you?
I can reveal all of the details. Actually, I'm not going to reveal all the details, but the essence of it is that the proposal is going to happen sometime between now and the end of the the end of my term here with her. So our marriages last each marriage lasts 5 years, and at the end of that, if one of us doesn't re-up and ask the other to marry them, then we're essentially done. And so it is officially my turn.
No pressure.
So she could theoretically, save this catastrophe by proposing to me, but don't worry, I got this taken care of. She wanted a flash mob. I will just say that she has requested a flash mob because she's very much like, hey, look at me, and so she loves that kind of idea. We live in Costa Rica, and the chances of a flash mob here are low. I'll say that, but we'll see what happens between now and then. I will next week. I'll show you some footage from it, probably from what you're gonna see. I don't think I'm going to do it live. Just because it adds a lot of technical complexity to something that is already, if you know anything about my side business, Overkill Productions, which is not really a business and it's not really a company, but it's essentially what the name that Karen gives to just about anything I do, because of the attention to detail that I put into it. This is what's coming is absolutely Overkill Productions, brought to you by Overkill Productions.
Excellent.
Over the top combination of live and technology. Are
there any explosions?
No, there are
No
not explosions with explosive things. Well, actually, not as part of the main thing. There will be. We do have fireworks on the beach later on the day. And there are things that will be flying through the air, but they're not. That's all I'm going to say right now. Yeah, I can tell she's talking to other people right now. So all of her family from Boston is in our kitchen right now, which is kind of an interesting Interesting thing. Will there be lasers? Not really lasers, but there will be bright lights shined in controlled ways. So there will be some of that as well. Yeah, and so anyway, there's a blank ton of complexity in this, but it feels like it is. I'm wrestling to get it all together and not be too overwhelming for everybody who's there. That's what I'm trying to do right now. And I've got a few places where
saying you're in some way holding back. Is that?
I'm actually no. I created something that is where I didn't hold back, and I'm looking at it. I'm thinking, oh man, I've got to. I'm actually using Science of Great UI principles to help me pack more information into a shorter period of time. And so, for example, at one point, I'm guiding people's eyes from one part of the screen to the other because they need to be looking down at that part of the wall when a certain event happens around that point. And so because otherwise they won't have their eyes in the right spot. So I'm actually doing this because of timing constraints, and there's a couple of those are showing up. Surly Dev says, sorry kids, I just popped in the chat here to say I won't be here due to being out of town at my uncle's funeral. Oh no, Surly Dev. Our condolences for that. See you all tomorrow. Well, we'll see you tomorrow. And yeah, Roy says, sorry to hear that, Surly. We are sorry to hear that. Yeah, it's like, it's like when you have kids, you're like, oh my gosh, tragedy. Before I had kids, I was like, I can do anything and I'm not dying. Look. And actually my wife was the same way. She told me stories about being on the top of a car driving on the freeway as a kid. And I was like, Jesus, like she was like, I don't know, 16 or something. And I was like, yeah, I didn't do that. Although I do remember trying to climb onto the top of the car from the passenger seat while it was driving as a kid. And my dad was very upset by this because I actually made it out the window and was almost all the way up on the top. It had a roof rack. And I was like, this is me. So this is probably definitely autism. But in my mind, I was like, okay, so my dad will figure out what's going on. And the only thing is he's got to be smart enough not to hit the brakes suddenly. Because if he hits the brakes suddenly, that's going to be really tough. Right? Because if he looks and he doesn't see me and he's like, where's Mark? Hits the brakes, I'm coming out. The answer to the where's Mark question will become apparent in seconds.
It will.
Right? But I'm thinking, he's smart enough to know not to hit the brakes if I'm missing from the car, not to hit him hard. So I continued to go and climb out. And then all of a sudden I feel my dad grabbing my belt and pulling me back in the car. And he's very upset. And he's looking at me like, are you a blanket idiot is what he's looking at, are you an idiot climbing out of the car? And I guess maybe in retrospect, yeah, I probably was. That was, yeah. I
had
often
a different perspective at the time, though.
I also had this kind of optimistic belief that everyone shared my sensory perceptions as well. So when I was a kid, my parents were pouring me milk, and I'm like, okay, that's good. I just moved the milk away out from underneath the pouring milk. And it just pours all over the table. Everybody's yelling at me. And I'm like, oh, you didn't realize that I thought I'm okay? So, anyway.
Like your mind reading no work so good.
Okay. Surly says, I hope you approve my pull request. I've been so swamped, Surly, I have not been able to take a look at that. I'm optimistically definitely leaning towards doing that, even though I haven't seen it yet. So I definitely want to encourage this, and we can look at that. But I haven't looked at it yet, so I need to do that. All right, so it looks like we fixed the fanfare problem, and it looks like I think we're okay with regards to the casing too. I think we've kind of fixed that, so I think I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
All right, so the next thing the thing I said I wanted to work on today was I wanted to work on making the scroll disappear.
Bennett is in the house.
Too handsome to ransom, too bold to be old. So sweet a glance, it gives you cavities. So avert your eyes, hold your applause, prepare your marriage proposals and dowries. It's Will Bennett. He's here.
It's the competition, Mark.
This is like 4 intros he's written for himself, which are just amazing every time. The best intros I've got is, hey, that's about the best I got. We're so glad to have you here, Will. We are, I think, about ready to start. We've had a rough start this morning. I've been beaten about badly by, things that were problems that we were having with getting everybody here to the wedding on time. So working through those kinds of issues and buying new tickets, routing people to fly people over to their passports so they can then fly back and get over to us. So I think this is the right page we want to look at. Let's see what happens when I change a page. There we go. So we've got this right now that's working for us, right? But there are times when I want to make that go away. And I've got half of what I need to make that go away. I've got that. But then it immediately comes back out. So what I want to do is roll it up, and then I want to have some sort of magical thing happen with it. And, I should say that I should totally admit that I'm totally not prepared to do this today because I was like, I'm nothing prepared. But, and I should, well, as long as we're doing this, I might as well give you this right here.
Mark doesn't know Jack.
And let's just clear the scroll overlay off of there.
No, nobody called Jack.
Yeah, I don't know anybody named Jack. So let's go over, I want to go over here. I want to go to stock video. And I want to look for like a magical burst or something like that. I want to see if they have anything magic. Explosion. Something like that. I want something to look like something colorful. What's this? This is not self-contained. I kind of need it self-contained. Dust pack of explosion. Yeah, no. I could do fireworks. I could do fireworks and color them. Fireworks. I've already got some fireworks downloaded. That's how I use the drone explosions here.
Mm-hmm.
I want like just a burst. What's this? No,
that's fairly magical looking.
But it's not self-contained, so which means I've got to either use it full screen. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's not going to work.
CodeRushed Alpha suggests an atomic bomb.
Yeah, the view from the atomic bomb is. What's this? Yeah, I think I'm going back to, I think I'm going to have to do explosions is what I'm going to have to do. Explosion sparks, interesting. It's like I've got better stuff I've already downloaded here. Sparks, let's see what I got for sparks. I don't really want a sparkler, I want a burst. Spark burst. Yeah. See what I'm saying? This is not exciting. How is everybody else doing out here? Let's not talk about this so much. Let's talk about you guys. Ooh, I kind of like potentially that. That's got potential. That's got some potential. I kind of like this. All right, let's do that. Let's do that. All right, so let's see. I want to go Michael Jolly.
Michael Jolly is in the house.
All right, welcome Michael Jolly. All right, let's let me get this in the right spot here. Twitch assets, videos, fire trail sparks. Okay, that's downloading. So we'll now I'm hungry. Tacos sound great. Let's start up.
Yeah, I got to agree with that.
Adobe Premiere. Let's create some special effects. We'll at least do that. Oh, I'm seeing also. Hold on. Let me show you this. I'm seeing also fire, which is kind of interesting. I think we might play with some
Okay.
fire on this too.
Burn the scroll.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Why
Up
not?
in smoke.
Why not? Let's bring this one down too. We'll see how we do it there.
Casually downloads gigabyte of video to create singular special effect.
Yeah, well, it happens sometimes. There we go, dropping that down. Okay, next let's create a new project in Adobe Premiere. Let's put this with our Twitch projects, and we're going to call this scroll poof. I think I want smoke on this too, maybe. So it might need some smoke. Let's get some smoke. What if I said smoke explosion? What would I get here?
Ooh, that's colourful.
Yeah, I actually like that. What's this one? That one's kind of from I kind of like that a lot. All right, let's bring that one down too. We're going to play with those. And we'll create something here in... all right, so let's do... Now, this is the hardest thing, is working with Premiere on... how do we dock this? I think I double click it to dock it. Or I just drag it. Okay, so we're going to put this like maybe up here so we can see it. All right, let's do that. Yeah, Michael Jolly's out here. By the way, kids, if you are not out there watching Michael Jolly's show, super, super interesting to watch. Give me a second. I'm going to get my door closed here. All right, so I just shouted out to them to close the door. All right, so let's go find those assets we downloaded, and where are they? Not there. There they are. So they're here. We're going to put that smoke explosion down there. And let's come up here, show this in folder. And where is it? I said show in folder, but I don't see you. That's sound effects. That's something else. Try one more time. Show in folder. Here it is. Okay. All right, so let's extract files. Fire trails and sparks is where that's in. Let's open that up in a new window. Okay, we got some ones there. Let's also come on here, see what the other pieces that we brought down are. File toes. These two are still being downloaded. 8 minutes left. All right, so we got the fire trails and sparks, at least one. Let's look at that. Here, there it is right there. Let's drag number one in and see what we got. See what we're working with here. Okay, yeah, it's cool. It's definitely a cool effect, is what it is. Let's also do this. Let's go get let's grab a screenshot of this as we're changing scenes on this, and we'll edit that as well. So I'm going to come up here. Wait, I want to do this. Boom. Okay, so I'm going to hit the print screen to grab the whole thing. All right, and start up my image editor. And paste it in. And let me trim it. Okay. And then I'll bring it on. Sorry, Roy. I know this is like...
assume there is a delicate balance going on.
Yeah, I'm trying not to reveal too much about what's going on with the pending. Oh yeah, definitely. I got to have this on the other screen just in case X-positive's out there. All right, sorry about that. Recent files, that's the one I want to bring up, image 6. And then I can bring it back up here, show you what I'm looking at. There it is right there. So I basically just want to grab this thing right here.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of,
it's always a good idea when you're going to be compositing images to get an idea of any of the things you're going to be compositing with, and that's what you're doing here. You're taking copies of our existing assets to place them just as kind of a guideline background for what you're about to start creating.
That is exactly right, and that's what Rory is here for. He's here to say, hey, you know what, Mark? It's getting a little quiet, buddy. Hold on, let's do this. We're going to call this the scroll bars. That, and we've just got that little piece there, and I'm just going to bring that in there so we have a sense of scale. Oh, look at that. Will gave us the music too. All right, so now come back to Adobe Premiere. Let's drag our scroll bars up here. All right, so now we have a sense of the size of this. So that's kind of what we're talking about there. So let's at least get our graphic and move it into place.
So given that you've now captured the assets you need, are we able to switch away from the scene and remove the scroll on the left of the stream?
Oh yeah, we sure can. Let's go do that. Thanks for saying that.
It'll make things a little bit more clear as to what's going on.
Thanks, Roy.
No problem.
So one of the things I'm going to do that I find really useful in Adobe Premiere is I'm going to take the anchor and I'm going to put it right to where I want to consider the start of this. So I'm going to say that's it. And that allows me then, if I move that, like for example, over the scrolls, and now I say I want to scale it, it keeps it right over that spot as opposed to scaling relative to the center of it. So I can maybe make this bigger, for example, and we can do something like that, Now it looks like we need more space here on this. So I'm going to go into sequence settings, and I'm going to give it more space left to right. Frame size. Let's make it, I don't know, 1920 for now. We'll just make it really big. And we'll get that. All right. And then the other thing I think I want to do is I want to duplicate this and move it a little bit off to the side. I want 2 of these. And then I want to, when I do this, to make them look a little more natural, I'm offsetting them, offset one from the other. Let's see if that is useful or not. Yeah, I think that can work. Let's see what our other downloads look like. 3 minutes left over on that one. What about the other one? 4 minutes left. Oh, there's still some time. Yeah, you're right. Look at that. There's a gigabyte there and another gigabyte. So it is 2 gigabytes I've downloaded.
Fair enough, yeah.
All right. Let's go look at some code while we do this. Figure out where we need to put this asset and all of this. Haven't worked in this in a while. It's out here where the character stat scrolls live. It's out in that space, but I don't think it's in this class. I think it is in something that uses this. I think it's the game, the Dragon Front game, or Dragon Game. It's the Dragon Game class, which sets up the background stuff. I think the background overlays. Yeah. So we have some commands here. We kind of need to come in and have a test. So instead of saying test scroll, we're going to say test close. Test close. Like that. And then we're going to say call close on it, which I don't think exists yet. Like that.
No, I think we opened and then we changed pages, but we haven't not closed before.
Oh, look at that. I do have a close function, though, already created, which is cool. And then we're playing a scroll close sound effect. But I think it's just going to close part way is what it's going to do. If we come in and refresh, let's go out here. Meanwhile, we're going to refresh this. Then I'm going to do a test close. All right, here we go. Test close. Whoops, I need to open it first. Hold on. Test scroll. That did not work. Why is that? Can it read property play of undefined? That's for playing the music. That's weird. Let's try again. Test. Scroll. I wonder if there's initialization. Yeah. So what happens if I initialize with this? Still the same problem. It's every sprites of undefined.
So the character stat scroll itself is undefined because there's no sprites on it and there's no play on it.
Let me send player data over. I just hit the initialize player data button, and now let's change it. Still nothing. All right, let's take a look at this. Yeah, the sprites have not been loaded. Or wait, scroll emphasis main.
Is it not the scroll itself that's null? For this, in this case.
I don't think so. I think the error was, in this case, sprites. Yeah, property sprites of undefined. So the most recent one is this. Scroll emphasis main is null.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So let's go look for that.
Codebase Alpha says, initialize it with a large axe.
Yeah, load resources. Load resources is called from load resources on the Dragon game. I don't understand why that's not working. I almost feel like a reset would just magically fix it, even though with no code changes. Let's just try that and see what our first error is. Let's also change the order in which we test after this loads up. I want to do an initialize player data first, which I've just done. Then I want to change the page. Okay. Now I want to do a test close. I don't know if it is or not, Will. Will's asking, is it because I did test emphasis? But I'm going to see what happens now if I do test close. Oh, interesting. The close then opens it up. Let's figure that out. I just heard Karen walk outside asking the question, does somebody just take the car? So I want to see what's just closed. Okay, we got a just closed, and then we got an open. So here's what's happening. We're checked to see, we set just closed here, and then we have this code that says, hey, we just closed, let's go ahead and open. So I think what I really want to do, I want to set a marker here. Maybe let's just write the code and not need immediate reopen. I like that better than where I was headed. Immediate reopen, like that. This dot need immediate reopen. Okay, so then I want to go back to the place that is calling this. I'm just jumping back through where I was, different places. Here, who's calling close? And here I want to set this dot need immediate open to true right here. So we set the page. Then we're going to do declare it there.
Is that going to have any effect? You'll need immediate reopens being set after the call to close.
We're going to set this to false right here. Is this what you're talking about, Rory? Just you're worried about that? You want to clean that up?
No, in the previous location, you issued the statement to close, which I believed was what led us here and was ultimately going to cause the reopen. But you did it without having first set need immediate reopen. I thought the two statements were perhaps the wrong way around.
Let me check this.
So not here.
So here, this is on set page. So this is when the page value changes. So then
it's not the reaction to need immediate reopen within close.
Oh, is it? No, I don't think so.
Well, maybe not.
It's not.
Okay.
But if you're worried about that, I can do that, and that's totally fine. So we're going to say that. We're going to call close, and then we're going to do that. And then that's how that's going to work. And then that way, if we just call close without it, so that means now if we come over here and we refresh this, you need the keys?
For the rental car.
Rental car? You're not on there as a driver, my friend. So, you understand all of that. Don't crash the car.
In fairness, nobody ever aims to crash the car.
Yeah, I guess. There have been times when I've been with a car full of kids flying through the air, headed into a river, intentionally.
Oh, okay.
So that's happened.
That's a fun weekend.
It's awesome. They don't build rental cars as strong as, you'd like to think in those moments when you're flying through the air. All right, so there we go. We've got that. Let's send the data out. We're going to send our initialized player data out. Then I'm going to change the page. And that is working. We've still got that perf issue that we know about. Will just did a test emphasis on that, so I think he wants to find out if he's related to the other problem we saw before with test close. I'm going to type test close, and it stops. Okay, cool.
Excellent.
Now what we need to do then is we need to, if just closed, I think we need to do two things. One of two things. We need to say, hey, look, if we need to immediately reopen, then we're going to do this right here. What am I in? I'm in TypeScript. Okay, so I want this over here. I have different syntaxes depending on where I am. So different code style formats, not syntaxes. If we just closed, and if we need to reopen, we do that. Otherwise, we need to hide us. And so we need to kind of hide. Make scroll disappear. Make scroll disappear, like that. Okay, so we'll do that. We'll declare that right down here. And I'm not exactly sure what we're going to do at this point. I think we could do this. We can find out. We're going to have to go look closer and see how we're drawing the scroll. Character stat scroll here. Looking for some sprites. Here we go. Scroll sprites. Emphasis sprites. Whoops. Okay. This is the one, the scroll rolls. This is the rolling up and down. This is the one that we need to hide, I think.
Yeah.
Let's go look at, so we say there, where do we actually add it? That's where we add it, right there. So that's in our, we do that in our unroll call. Interesting. State is unrolling. What do we call? If state is equal to slammed, okay. So I think we can remove from that and change the state. Do we have a none? I think is what we have.
So this will be us returning to the state of none. And
Yeah.
how we achieve that.
I think that's what we've got going to do, is what I think we're going to do in this function. I think we're going to come down here and say this dot state equals scroll state dot none is what I think. And then I'm going to say this dot, what was it? Something scroll rolls. There it is right there. Scroll rolls. I have to find the sprite there, though. Hold on a second. Let me go through this again.
What's a new sprites?
We add it here in unroll. And because of the state, let me double check here. Unroll is only called. We check the state before we call it. Yeah.
So if we haven't reached the state of unroll, we won't have any sprites.
Yeah. No, I know. I'm just trying to figure out. So add, pretty sure this is going to return a sprite proxy. Yep, it does. Right there. So what I'm thinking is, well, I could hold on to the reference from that scroll rolls, the add, and then that's the thing that we're going to expire. Right? I could do that. Also, the scroll backs as well, the same thing. In other words, I could do something like this. This dot current scroll roll equals that. And this dot current scroll back. Whoops. Just writing just a note. I'm pasting and the caret is showing up to the left of what I'm pasting.
Okay.
Happened twice now on these two lines. And I've seen this before. This is the one thing we've talked about before. I want to make sure the devs look at this and figure this out. I think it's a totally non-reproducible issue. But I would love to know this. Send it to me too so I can get them my logs. There might be something in the logs right now. Current time on my machine is 11:02 a.m. So check the logs, see if there's anything in there.
Okay.
Okay. And then we just declare these. There are those two pieces there. And then now what I should be able to do is if we go back to that make scroll disappear piece, we should be able to do this, something like this. We should be able to say, whoops, where did I go there? Down here. We should be able to say, hey, look, if you exist, gosh, what is going on with my fingers today? All right. What's happening here? Okay, there we go. If, then, equals now. Let's see if make scroll disappear as a now inside of its. I think it does. We got a now. Okay.
That now isn't compiling there. Is that supposed to be a number or is it supposed to be a timer?
Hold on, let's take a look at it.
Oh no.
I think it just didn't have it here, is what I think.
Yeah.
So we'll say expiration date is equal to now. That's going to make it totally disappear. We can say now plus, I don't know, 300, 400 milliseconds.
I mean, I presume you're going to be playing some additional video back over the top of this anyway.
Yeah.
So
it's going to fade out.
Depending on the, yeah.
Yeah. And we're going to do the same thing down here. And that should take care of removing those from there. And by setting the scroll state back to none, now they'll be re-added back in if we need to unroll it again. I think it's a rough estimate on what I think is going to work. Because like I say, I haven't looked at this code in a while. So let's go in and refresh over here. Are you sure now that now is milliseconds? Pretty sure. Yeah, in my world, I'm pretty sure that's the case. It's in milliseconds. But let's double check that. It's coming into render. Who's calling render? Yeah, we're calling particle renders, and I'm pretty sure the particle renders, those nows are also in milliseconds. It's weird that we don't have the names on these. I was hoping to find them somewhere in there. Lifespan seconds is now minus birth time. Uh-oh.
That
doesn't look
less
good.
Than perfect.
Yeah, it's absolutely less than perfect. I think you're right. It is in seconds. Hold on. Let's double check it.
We did start suffixing with MS when it turned out to be milliseconds. but that's not a constant throughout the code base.
All right. Let's go take a look at the dev chatter. Brennan's here.
Ruh-roh, Shaggy. Pretty much.
Ruh-roh, Shaggy. Yeah. Let's go look at this expiration date. Let's go look through this code. So, yeah, milliseconds is what expiration date needs to be in milliseconds. And I think you are correct that if we go back, so I got two options. I can performance.now it, or I can verify that this is in fact seconds.
I swear there was an expiration date on the screen a moment ago. I'm not sure where you were, which was also taking performance.now. Was in ticks effectively. Of course, that is pretty vague description of where, so I don't expect that we'll necessarily find that.
Yeah, look at this. You can see we're multiplying the now by 1,000. So we are totally in dealing with seconds here is what we're doing. So I'm going to say now times 1,000 here. And then I'm going to come down here and say this is now milliseconds. Thanks, Will. I'm going to call that a huge save. Appreciate that. Totally solved that part of the problem. Although I'm not entirely sure that what we've got is going to work anyway. So we'll see. See if we can start our music. Oh, we're reloading the page. It won't work. I'm hearing a creature crawling on my roof right above me. I thought all the milliseconds in this part of the code had a millisecond suffix. Yeah, we made those changes.
We started applying.
Yeah, and I wasn't entirely sure when I saw the now. So, okay.
The only way to be sure would be to have two standards, that neither of which was just now, and to have an S or an MS, and then you'd know you'd covered that part of the code.
Yeah.
We checked it.
Okay, so there I've got some data coming out. We sent it. Got the slowdown. Do you see my comment about clearing variables? Clear those variables. I did not see that. Which variables? Unfortunately, I did not see that. And I don't know what variables you're talking about.
So is this when we go into unroll and we obviously load a bunch of sprites and so forth, but we also do an add. Do those need to be cleared when we're returning to a state of none?
No, I don't think so. The current scroll backs. No. Set them to null. Duh. Yes, we do need to do that. That's a good idea. I don't think it'll affect anything that's happening right now because we're not calling make scroll disappear more than once. Oh, yes, we are actually. No, we totally are. We can call it more than once in the chat room. So we'll do those two things right there. And let's do a refresh. Brendan says those always amazing effects from Mark. We'll see. We'll see. They're okay. I'm getting there. All right, there's the player data. Here's the page change. Okay, and I think we can close this for now. I think we've maybe got some stuff. Maybe we'll, actually, not, as soon as I said, Will Bennett says you missed the peacock. Yeah, let's try it. Here comes the test. Close. Okay, that worked. So now all we need is our special effects. So let's go look at our special effects that we brought down here. So okay, show this in folder. There's that one. Let's go move this over here. Then I've also got my smoke explosions, which is like a gig zipped. Let me unzip that. Oh, looks like though I already have a smoke explosions here. It looks like I've already downloaded it from the file name it's given me. Give me a second to see if I can find it. Slow explosions, smoke. I don't see the smoke explosions. Oh, but I had downloaded, I just hadn't unzipped it before. I see what's going on. Okay, so let's unzip that. Then I'll delete those zip files. There's my progress bar I'm looking at. Now let's delete those, free up a couple gigs off of my machine. And then I've got fire as well. I said I wouldn't have to play with fire. So let's grab the fire and bring that in here. See what we got here. Okay. I think we can do something with that. And let's go get our smoke that we saw, smoke explosions. We got a couple different options here, a couple different colors. I'm going to grab red, and there it is right there. Out of all of these, by the way, I like the smoke explosion the best. The smoke explosion
is nice.
Yeah, it's kind of cool, and I'm almost thinking maybe I don't want these others. We'll maybe use them for seasoning, right? We'll kind of season a little bit with those is what we'll try to do.
Sure.
So we'll see what we can get. Let's try to maximize this so we can see more of what's on screen. All right. So let's get the, whoops. Let's get our smoke on top of that. Start with the smoke. So we got the smoke right here. That's kind of super cool. Yeah, good. Next, cool. I want to take my fireballs and kind of have them come out of it. And to do this, I got to do I got to kind of work with layers here a little bit. Is what I got to do. Oops, that's not what I want to do. I want to move this like that, and I need to put a crop mask on that. Got some cool, little bit of a Western twang here on this music, Roy. You hearing the music?
I am hearing the music. I quite like.
Cool. All right, so I'm going to just say, make the whole thing go away, but put a mask on like this, like that. And that's kind of exactly what I want to do. I want to just put a mask in the middle like this. So the middle stuff looks like it's in front of the others. I'm going to increase the feathering on that. So we see a little bit of a blend for these pieces. And now we should see something that kind of looks like it's coming from in front and maybe behind as well.
Nice.
So it's not too bad. I want to, I think I want to take the back one. There we go. It's not bad. Now, that's going to be... Now, this is a pretty big animation, is what it is.
Yeah.
And
for that matter, we're going to use this to get rid of the scroll. So the scroll is going to be on the far left of the display. So, to some extent, the left-hand side of this will be trimmed off.
Yeah. The comment is it looks like Sideshow Bob's hair.
Yes,
the comment.
I was thinking exactly that.
The other thing I think I want to do is I think I want the scroll to be in the player's color. Let's see what, let's do a couple things here. I want to see, let's see what my sequence settings are here. I want to change my height. My frame size on this. I want to change the height on this to, I think, 2000. Let me see what happens with this. Is anything being cropped off the bottom? That's what I'm looking for. I want to make sure nothing's cropped. So still getting stuff cropped. Let's start lifting everything up. Okay, good. I just want to make sure we have separation on everything so that that thing is, if we do something this big,
moved everything up, presuming that you're going to be able to move the scroll up, and isn't the scroll in a fixed position once it's collapsed? Relative to the height of the screen.
It is. It is. I'm not too worried about it. I'm not too worried about it. Is the answer to that question? Because we can set the origin of this and put it anywhere. I just want to make sure that we're not going to see anything clipped or cut off on the screen while it plays. That's what I'm kind of looking at here. Also, it's potentially kind of giant compared to, overall the size of it. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to select all this. I'm going to nest this down. And I don't think I'm going to use the fire that I was seeing before, because I kind of like just this combo right here. So we'll call this scroll go poof, like that. And now that I've got these nested, I can then modify them all together. So I can go in and say scale, for example, drop the scale down, put it kind of where I want it to go, like this. Get that. Here, let's get that right where we want it, right like that. All right, let's see how we're doing now. Take a look at it. All right, so it's not bad. I want to change the smoke, and I want to make it go much faster. So I'm going to just change the size of that. See how we're doing now. It's not bad. Let's take this and bring it over, just have it start sooner. That's the one on top. That's the fireballs on top. All right, let's go back and look at it. So we do have some cropping here that's now showed up, right? Where is it? There. So you can see right down there at the bottom, we've got some cropping.
Yeah.
So I want to fix that. There, that's what I'm talking about right there.
Clearest, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, right there. So one way to do is just throw a crop on here, crop up from the bottom to about where I want, and then feather that edge like this, so it kind of fades out. That's a way to kind of take something that's big and make it a little smaller too. Yeah, I think that works. Now, then the last thing I want to do is the question is, okay, what do I do with those fireballs? I want the fireballs that color, and I just want smoke others. And I think that's what I want, which means to do this, I got to break this into different pieces. A piece that I can change color on, and pieces that I won't change color on. So
now, is that how plausible is that? Because you're going to lay one of those two pieces on top of the other. And yet you've kind of got this effect where the fireballs are on both sides.
Yeah, I'd have to do multi-layers, but I just took one of them off. I took one of those off, and I think we can do that, like that. Okay. The other thing I can do too, so we just have one upper layer and one lower layer, is I can take this one, move this up. This is the one I turned off, but give it a similar mask to the other one we saw. So throw the crop on there, take everything out, give it a mask like this. And then, but make it bigger. So now we're out here. So now it's an illusion, right? All we're doing is giving you the eye and the brain enough to get you to believe that, yeah, these other pieces are coming behind it here. So now it looks like this, even though the fire is all on top. Okay. And these are a little too close together. So what I want to do is I want to move this a bit. Let's make sure, I just want to double check that what I'm expecting is really happening from here. Yeah, so they're coming out of the sides like this. And did I mask feather? I want to increase that feather like that. There we go. Okay, let's turn these back on. So now I have an upper layer of fire that I think I'm just going to keep that color. So everybody's going to get a color change. Boom. And this one, I think I want it to actually be more. Let's do one other thing too to make it harder to identify this as similar to the other. I'll horizontal flip it like that. Would seem to make it worse. Got pieces right next to each other. Wait, is that me or not? Oh no, the pieces were right next to each other were already there. Okay, hold on. Back. Let's see. And let's do something else too. Let's cut this. Let's cross dissolve that out. So we'll fade this one out here before it ends. Okay, right here, I want to cross dissolve this on the way in too. Maybe start it a little bit later. So we get that smoke, boom, and then the fire. Like that. That's kind of what I feel like. All right, that feels a little bit better. Okay, now I'm back out here at the higher level where we got the combo. Kind of cool. But I think I want to change its position a little bit. Because it's going to be cropped. Part of this is going to be cropped. That's part of the problem with this.
Yeah.
I have this like really weird snapping that's going on that I'd like to.
I did wonder about that. It does appear to have been a grid almost that you were glued to.
Yeah. All right. Boom. And I think I want to grab the red smoke and I want to come back out here and I want to put another layer of that red smoke out here, but I want to put it back behind and off to the left a little bit just for the beginning of this. So we have a kind of double explosion is what I'm looking for here. So let's see here. Right here. Move that one there. And then let's take this one, move it here. Let's do a flip on that. Let's start it a little later. Really? Only those two spots? Wow. Really interesting. This is the first time I've seen you compose video animation sequences. Yeah, usually it's more exciting and faster than this, but I'm like
To some extent, this is the attention to detail we were mentioning earlier.
No, yeah, it's true. Not sure if it's an asset or not. Hold on. Let's change the speed on this. I think that's part of the problem is I was dealing with the speed issue here. Because the other one is I adjusted its speed, but I didn't do the same for this one, I think. Yeah, this one's coming too fast comparatively. All right, I think I want this even slower. Boom. Slower. Boom. Yeah, good. And then like about here, I think I want to fade it out. Take that, get our cross dissolve, put that over there. And now let's see what we got. It's not bad. I want to rotate this too. Where's our anchor on this thing? Put the anchor right up in the center of that image. Now we're going to rotate it. Just trying to get something looking a little different there than the one we've got. Just this illusion that I feel like that fade is too fast. And I feel like its growth is a little too fast too. Let's slow it down a little bit more. See what we got here. Let's get this out of the way. Oh, it's totally upside down. Yeah, I do need to fade it out. Okay, that's getting closer. Yeah, we can work with this. Getting closer. Move this down here. And I think I want to do one other thing. Is let's throw a crop on this. Let's put a mask on it. Take everything out except for what's inside. So I'm going to invert the mask like that. Just trying to bring that down. I'm going to mask feather that so it gets get a nice fade out there. I'm just trying to get this thing to kind of an explosion. There you go. See that? That's what I'm looking for right there. Just kind of do make it look like the whole thing's there, but then the main animation is going to come out over there. And this part on the left is going to be cut off because the edge of the screen is right here. So I feel pretty good about that. Boom, and we're done. Let's see what it looks like in real time. Okay, so not bad. Let's take these, nest these together now that we like these. Scroll. Wide. Boom. Like that. And now I want to make this run faster. So I'm going to take that and move it over here. See what we got here. Boom. I don't know. I'm okay with that, I think. I think fireballs are falling a little fast. So what I think I want to do is I want to come in and grab the fireballs. Oh shoot, I had a fire trail in the back right here. That's not good. Let's see what's going on with that. Not visible, apparently. I don't see it. I think it's the one I dragged up to the top, so I think we're okay. So these are my fire trails right here. Let's group these together. Or nest them. Call this fire trails. And now let's make those last longer. I'll take them out to there. Let's see what that looks like back over here. That's not bad. Boom, boom, boom. I think that could work. All right, so let's look at that. What are we looking at? I'm going to kill that. We don't need this in here anymore. We don't need this anymore. Drop this to this size, and we're about to generate. Boom. Let's change our settings, get our sequence settings. Well, let's do this. The best way to do this. There's no way in Premiere to get the settings based on like a rectangle you draw or something like that.
It's a shame.
Yeah. So it's like, yeah, I'm going to have to eyeball it is what I'm going to have to do. I'm going to do this a couple times, I think. Let's change this to fit. How big does it get? It gets about there. Okay. So let's come in sequence setting. Let's take a guess at 900 by 900 and see what we're doing with that. Still kind of a big, big graphic. That looks like it was a pretty good guess.
Yeah.
I think it's going to have to be longer than this, though. The left side I'm okay about cropping, just not the top or the bottom. Okay, so I think we need to change the height. Changing the height to 1100, adding 200 to that. See what we got here now. Top is good. Ooh, bottom looks good too. And the right side is good. Nice. I think I can take 100 off of that. Just make it easier. So let's do that. Make it easier on our engine. There's 100 taken off. Let's see how that looks now. Top is good. Bottom looks a little tight, but we're going to move it up. Right there. I think I can move it right just a little bit too. Let's go look at it again. Every frame, I'm just going through every frame, making sure it's contained. Let's just drop it down a bit. In case there's anything there that we can't see. I'm feeling pretty good about it. All right, so let's make this disabled. That's our effect right there. We have two different variations of the effect. We have the fireballs and the background smoke. So let's go generate that. Okay. Let's get into the right folder here. Hold on, I got it on another screen. Dragon H. Scroll. Here we go. This is what I'm looking at right here. So now I'm going to come in here and say, create a new folder called close, I think. And I think this is worth it, having the extra effects and the size of the effects on these, because this is a thing that'll be happening a lot. And also by changing the color of the smoke but not changing the color of the fire, I think is also worth it, because I think it's going to look cool. Or at least being able to independently control those two. So, wait, Codebase Alpha, what? Interested in watching paint dry? Are you Codebase Alpha? Oh yeah, Will.
Codebase Alpha, really interesting.
Some of the coding speed on stream. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. Yeah, normally I'm much faster. Today I'm like, I've been talking to couriers, people saying, no, we can't do it. No, we can't do it. Oh, we can do it for $6,000. You know, that kind of a thing. That was my morning this morning. You know. So, all right, so there's close. And then I'm going to give this a different name. I'm going to call this, we're going to call this scroll poof, like that. But I want to change it to a PNG is what I want to do. So we're going to do that. Change it to PNG. There it is right there. So there's my scroll poof. 900 by 1000 is the sequence. Export as sequence. And do the entire sequence. And say export. Actually, I'm going to do it just because I don't want to go through the process of specifying this name again. I think I can cancel at this point, and I've got that saved. I just want the software to save that, because I want to come in and I need to turn off the fireballs for this. So I'm going to drill in, we're going to turn off fire trails, then we're going to come back out here and we're going to do it again. So now we see just the smoke. Okay?
Yes.
All right, so there's the smoke. So here we go one more time. And, ooh, also this is important. This first frame has nothing in it. So, yeah, I can kill the first frame. So let's go do that. So we save ourselves a frame. Zoom in all the way in here. This is the frame distance from here to here. And then just move that back. Adjust that. So we're a little over 2 seconds. I like to keep the animations like around 2 seconds, especially if they're big or less than 2 seconds. So I think we've got a good timing on this. scroll poof.
Speaking of timing.
All right, buddy. Thank you so much,
I'm
Ray.
afraid I gotta go, pal.
All right, buddy. I'll let you know how it goes. Thanks so much.
All right, mate.
Don't forget to send me the that email about the pasting
I'll do
of
that
that
right
right
here.
there. Okay. All right, buddy.
Okay.
Wish me luck. Roy's not going to be with us tomorrow, and on Thursday I won't be doing the show because I'll be in the process of catching up on the needing to. Wow, that's taken a long time to encode that out as a PNG. How many frames is that? 30 frames a second? That should be about 70 frames. It's a lot of frames. But what's really interesting is it's taking a lot of time to send this out. Okay. All right, meanwhile, let's come back over here, make scroll disappear. We're going to have to play some animation here. And to do that, we're going to need some sprites here. So let's come into scroll rolls and create a duplicate of that. And we're going to call this our scroll poof back and scroll poof front, like that. And those are sprites right there. So we've got both of those. Let's go find scroll rolls where we're initializing it. Right here. We'll duplicate this line. Scroll poof back is going to be coming from close. And we done? We do it? All right, let's get the next set. So we're going to go in here now, and we're going to turn this on, and we're going to turn off the smoke. And do the same thing here, turn the smoke off here. So now we should have only fireballs coming out like that. Good. So now we've got our fire trails. And we'll come up here. The old one was called scroll poof. Let's fill in that name. And this is the expected frame count. 43. 43 frames. .43 frames. The frame rate, sequential stop. It's not sequential stop, it's sequential. So it's going to go to the end and then it'll disappear itself. Let's duplicate this line, scroll open, scroll, what do we call it? Scroll poof back, and the other one is scroll poof front. Like that. And this one, scroll fire. Fireballs, fire, like that. That's what we call it. So over here, we're going to call this scroll fire. And say save. Export. So now we've got two animations in sequence with each other. At least they're on the way out. Should be 43 frames there as well. All of that looks good. Scroll rolls. We are adding them there. We really just need to add that in our that's where I wanted to be, right there, just closed. If need me to make scroll disappear, here's where I wanted to be. So we're going to say this dot current scroll, or this dot scroll rolls, not this dot scroll poof back, add, and scroll poof front, add. So these are probably going to be in the wrong places, but those should both play those animations, and then we just need to make sure that they are Are these added anywhere, or are we just calling draw on these? There it is, right there. So we're calling draw. So we'll do... Yeah, no, I think it goes like this. That's the back. That feels good. How are we feeling, kids, about the paint drying so far? Do we like the color of it at least? Okay. How are we doing? Let's go back over here. Adobe's done. Let's go take a look at what we've got out here in this folder. Let's go get closed. Let's open this in a new window so we can play with that. Here's the window. And we're going to clear out the stuff we don't need. Ooh. That needs 62. I'm okay with that, though. We don't... So all that's saying is that the difference between the two is that the fire's lasting longer than the smoke. So I can clear this out. Actually, this should be 44, not 43 for that. So 44 for this one. And then for the fire's got nothing at the beginning, but I'm going to keep those empty frames for timing. And we're going to say it is 63 frames for this one, 64, I think. No, 63. Okay. All right, so we got 63 frames there. Is that all we need? That might be it. Let's see how we're doing. We're probably not lined up. We've probably got lineup problems that we're going to have to calculate the right spot for it. Because as I recall, the other scrolls all have an origin of the top left. So it's actually, that scroll is an animation that's this big. It goes from here to here. I think I can verify that. Here, if we come over here, we look at the scroll. We look at open. Yeah, it's that tall. So it goes from here to here. And I think the origin is just the upper left corner of the screen. So if we do the same thing, ours will have an origin, the same thing, that same origin. So let's see what we got. Let's set it over. All right, so we've got it. There it is right there. I'm going to disable the scroll overlay on the stream. Just do it. I did a test close, but I didn't see anything else. I didn't see any fire pop up there. Will Bennett says looking good. Thanks for that, Will. Super positive. Why not? Why didn't we go? Let's see what happens when we change to another player. Oh wow, that was kind of surprising. And then a test close. And nothing happens. Are we not drawing? There might be something happening in our draw, our render here. Let's go look at a render where it's not rendering if it thinks, hey, we don't have anything to render. Oops, that was the wrong one. I saw it just the last minute. I wanted in character stats scroll there. That's where I want it. Okay. Yeah, if we're visible, I bet that's the problem. Here. Scroll is not visible. We could maybe do that. And I might want to do extra a check on it, but it's just for performance reasons. But I think that's going to fix it. So let's refresh. I think the code is outside of the if. I think it's Will Bennett saying, and yeah, I think that I think what you're saying, Will, is correct. Hold on, where is that? There we go. Okay, that's refreshed. Sending the player data across. Switching to another player. What? How do we have those already? Oh, that's on the stream, isn't it? That was on the stream. So I haven't refreshed the stream. Hold on. Let's do scroll overlay. Turn it off. Turn it back on. And let's go do a test close. Poof. Okay, so we just got lineup problems. It's the only thing we've got to do. And then we've got to do color shift on it too, I forgot. So we need to do color shift as well. So let's do this. Let's reset our zoom. Let's get our let's put the scroll up. Well, let's do this. Wait, I have an idea how we can solve this. Let's look at the open. Let's grab this. So this is going to, if this is aligned to 0, 0, this is going to tell us where our center point is, needs to be. I think I've got a dialog open. That's not what I wanted to do. I see. There we go. Okay. One more time. Open this up. All right. So right in here is about the center point of the scroll. Right there. So it's at 171.436. Is that right? Yeah, 176.440. So 174.40 is what we're looking at. So if we go to we can set the origin of these here and here. $170. $440, like that, and do the same with the back as well. Okay, so we set those origins on those two pieces. Then we want to also do the color shift as well when we add those. So I think there's an add shifted. Okay. And X starting for a minute, hue shift is the last thing we need right there. So hue shift. And there's I just realized there's a bug I think I added right here. This is not the problem. It's not there that I want the 174.40. It's here. So I want to do, I'm going to create two constants here. Scroll center X, and then get another one, scroll center Y, and that's going to be 440, like that. So those two are there. That's what I want. Then I want to add them here and here. Next, I need to find the actual center values of the close animation. So I'm going to grab this tiniest one I got, this one right here. Oh no, wait, I'm not going to do that. I don't want that one. I want this one. It's got two of them in it. And I want to use the center between those two as its center point. Right there. So that's 371, 328. Is that right? 371 through 370, 325. Okay. And now I want to change this. 370, 325. Okay. Now, let's go look at my add shifted. My hue shift, we need to answer this question. I could also, let's see if we have the player ID here. I think we do. Player data changed. Selected character index. Okay, so that can work. We can use that to calculate the hue. And the question is, where can I get this? There's somewhere out here a hue shift. Not in character side scroll. What about Dragon Game? I want to see if I'm using it out here. Because I know I've done it in the dice layer before. Nope. Well, it's in dice layer, I think. So we can do this. But I don't have a dice layer instance here inside here locally, and I don't necessarily think I want to create one. Hold on, let's go to dice layer. So got this get hue shift function inside the dice layer. That's not what I want. No. It's in the character. The character has it, right? Hold on. Selected character index. Let's see where selected character index is used. Characters. There. Boom. That's what I want. Okay, hold on. The character is sending over its own hue shift. So the character tells it what its main hue is. There it is. Boom. So that should work if we've got the right characters over there. Let's set a breakpoint there. Refresh here. Once that refreshes, maybe I'll do it without a breakpoint. See if we're feeling lucky here. Initialize player data. Sending data over. So this is Shimo, whose color is green. Now let's do a test close. I think that worked. That was not bad. We're missing a sound effect, and we've got it. Let's go to Merkin. Okay, this color, smoke color, should be purple. There's the close. Boom. Look nice. Oh, I just realized though, the fireballs are color shifted there. And I'm not sure necessarily that I like them that. Let's do the poof front. Let's just do an add right there. No hue shift there. So we just got the regular fireballs. Refresh that. And I think we need a sound effect here. Scroll whoosh sound effect. So let's get a scroll poof SFX. And then we got to get something here. And we're going to say scroll poof. Like that, which we don't have. We'll have to get that. All right. Sound effects. Let's see if we can find a smoke bomb. Okay, it's a little over the top. A little over the top. But see what happens. Big vanish explosion. That's it right there. All right, that works. Now let's get the path to this thing right. Sound effects, scroll. There they are right there. So we're going to call this scroll poof. But we need this as an MP3. Let's open that up in Adobe Audition. And I also want it to start immediately. So a lot of times I'll see this with sound effects that they have a little bit at the beginning. All right, so there's that. Let's save as. Let's change it to an MP3. Okay. Also, let's run PNG Gauntlet out on our images out here so we don't have, so we can shrink them down. So there's PNG Gauntlet right there. There I've got my scrollpoof.mp3 is there. I can delete the WAV file. Don't need that anymore. And so there I've got the scroll poof sound effects. We're not playing it anywhere yet, but I think we've got a marker, yeah, right there. Like that. And I think that's all we need to do to get that sound effect in there. So we hear it. It's PNG Gauntlet. All of these. Select all. There's PNG Gauntlet. Drag them over. Why is that working so slowly? Oh, because I didn't hit optimize. There we go. All right, we'll let that run. Now, I've never hit refresh while this is running. I think it'll work. What's interesting is we got music playing, but I don't see the boombox on the stream. Oh, I know why, because we've switched over here to this player and we don't have the, so inside of OBS I have it so that we don't have the overlay on this page, but if the overlay has music, the music continues to play and it continues to function until we go to a page that has the overlay, in which case it does a refresh. So this is like an OBS quirk that's happening now. That's why we're still hearing the music. All right, here comes the data. And here comes a change in page. And now let's do the test close. I didn't hear the sound effect though. Oh, because we're muted. Unmute site. Let's try again, change the page. And we've got it happening out here as well on the mainstream. Let me just clear that out. And now let's try the close on this and see if we hear it. No, it didn't close. Oh, that's not good. And I'm right clicking and it's not responsive. What you got for me? I wonder if it's because of this. These are locked. I think that's the problem. Let's cancel the optimize for a second. Let's refresh. I think that was my problem. Okay, that's refreshed. Here's the player data. Let's switch the page. All right, now let's do that test close again. It's not bad. I think the sound volume's a little loud on that, and I almost want the, let's do this. I think that the scroll is disappearing too quickly. I'm not even seeing it fade, in fact. Let's change this to 1400 for each one of these. Let's try refresh here. Overlay, let's kill that, have that refresh itself. Okay, here comes the data. Here's the change. Here's the test close. It wasn't fully open. Huh. Yeah, I didn't see that. Maybe the problem is I need, yeah, I didn't see that seem to have any effect. Let's change this to 24. I wonder if I'm taking it out somewhere else. Let's just make this really clear. And the other thing I think I want to do, let's try that. Do a refresh. Just something obvious here to see if we can see it. All right, refreshed. Here's the change. Test close. It's immediately disappearing. Something else is taking it out. Wonder if it's something like this. Oh wait, I know what it is. The problem is here. I think we need to introduce a new state. We're not calling scroll rolls draw inside of here. So I really need a new state that's basically is saying, hey, do that. So probably what I want to do. How do I tell when just closed is true? So then the logic goes like this. If we've hit from index 0, that means we've gone all the way around. And we're going to say just poofed is equal to true, I suppose. Just to follow this logic. Or we can just come in and say this state is no longer equal to poofing. Come down here and say then this is equal to none. Because we're done. So then this here becomes, I'm just going to put this comment here so we've got this here. In case I want to do anything else, or I'm just going through and following the logic here. Okay, so then we have to say set state is equal to poofing when we get to the close. Or maybe not. Well, I think I know where it is. It's actually back where we were. Just closed. Here. Make scroll disappear. I can put it in there. Let's change poofing to disappearing. All right, let's shot. That's going to work. Let's give it a try. Refresh is done. Here's the initialization. Changing the page. All right. So now we're expecting blue smoke. And we're expecting it, hopefully, to disappear. Let's see if that works. Interesting. So, what happened? I think we got it way too soon. I think it's the problem is the check is here. It needs to happen after the draw. I think draw takes care of the frame advancement. Yeah. There's the advanced frames right there. So I think we just need to change the order of those. Let's see if that works. I'm liking how fast this refresh is occurring now. It's pretty fast. Here's the data. All right, expecting blue smoke. Nice. And there's the fade. We just need to speed up that fade now. All right, so we want to say it's going to die in about half a second, and the fade out time is about a half a second. Does that feel true? Let's go back to 450. All right, let's do that. It's looking pretty cool. I'm happy about the look. Send the date over. This one should be green smoke. There's the message. Nice. Let's switch over to character 1. This one should be red smoke. Looks good. Let's refresh the main stream. I'm going to do it with the stream. Okay, refreshing that cache. When that scroll bar to my right goes away, we'll be able to test it. Initializing player data. Switching to a character. We'll take this out of the background so we don't have to see that one. And do a test close. Nice. All right, cool. We did it. So now we can close if we need to. And we bring somebody back just by clicking on their tab name like that. And then close it. Here's some red smoke. I like it. The effect looks good. Cool. Just got to add a button to the UI and some signal R to get that away. But in general, the effect is, I'm pretty happy with it. Here's some purple smoke. That's gorgeous. Okay, I'm happy with that. I want to just say thanks to everybody for hanging out with us. If there's anybody out there lurking who wants to copy CodeRushed, you don't have a license, let me know right now in the chat room. This is your chance to win a copy of CodeRushed just for being here. Let's go see who's out there broadcasting right now. Looks like Michael Jolly's out there. I think we're going to send you over to Michael Jolly because we like that guy. Let's do it. Genesco 7 says test blood. Did that not work? It may not have worked because we're on a screen that doesn't have it. I think that's why. Thanks so much, Will. Appreciate it. Oh, it did work? Okay, great. I didn't see it. All right, excellent. Oh, yeah, there it is. Okay, cool. Good. Nice. Yeah, the drones won't work on these pages that we jump to because the Dungeons & Dragons show won't have any drones on it. Yeah, it's pretty good. Thanks so much, guys. Let's get that raid going over to the Michael Jolly. There's the raid coming. And we will see you guys later. Just tell Michael I said hi. God, this music's so great. And here we go.